How's it going, everybody? You know what? I've been somewhat critical about PlayStation's 2023 lineup of exclusive titles. If you take out Final Fantasy 16, which was a timed exclusive third-party deal, really you mostly looked at VR titles and an expansion to Horizon Forbidden West, which turned out to be a pretty good expansion, but let's be honest. All eyes and attention were leading into Spider-Man 2, and we have a plethora of new updates to go over. Most importantly, that the game is gold, but we also have details on the game's length as well as performance modes. Spider-Man 2018 is a game that I absolutely loved, completing it 3 times on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC. I'm gonna do another playthrough before the release of Spider-Man 2. Love that game, and honestly, you look at the Metacritic score of Spider-Man 2018, I don't necessarily agree. Like, playing through the game again on PC last year, I'm like, this is a damn good game, and you know what? We're hearing that Spider-Man 2 is a lift-up of every aspect of Spider-Man 2018, so from that standpoint, I think the game is going to be tremendous. We'll see if this game can hit that 90 on Metacritic that I think people value so much. Maybe wrongly value, but that is a number Spider-Man 2018 fell a little short of. But nonetheless, Spider-Man 2, I am so excited for the game, and best of all, that October 20th release date is gonna stick, as Insomniac Games has officially tweeted out today. We are gold. We're thrilled to share the news ahead of Spider-Man 2's launch on October 20th, 2023, and they also attach a video with a few words from the game's cast. So now, that release date is locked in unless absolute disaster strikes, and if you've ever... I can only remember one instance of a game not hitting its release date after going gold, and I think it was a MotorStorm title on PlayStation 3, and some crazy had to have happened for that not to have hit the date. But it's 99.999% October 20th, and we're a month away, so obviously the game for that release date is set in place. That doesn't mean work on the game finishes up. They'll continue to work on patches, updates, things of that nature, and I don't know if they're going to do a full-on expansion pass for the game, but that would make sense given that they've done expansions for the majority of big PlayStation exclusives, and they did do an expansion for Spider-Man 2018, The City That Never Sleeps, so I imagine they probably are going to be working on that as well. So, game is gold. It's going to be out on October 20th, one of the biggest game releases, for some people, the biggest game release of the year, and I am incredibly excited about it, so looking forward to that. But also, we have an idea of how lengthy Spider-Man 2 is going to be from a content standpoint. And what they noted, while they didn't go into specific numbers, they did say that the game's length is similar to Spider-Man on PS4. How Long to Beat has Spider-Man 1's main story at 17 hours. If you delved into side content, that would be 25.5, while Completionist, you're looking at 34 to 37 hours of content, which I think is a perfect amount. I don't want every game to go the absolute bloated route just because it's an open world game. We have our Assassin's Creeds of the world that have these gargantuan worlds. We have our, Bethesda open world titles that have a ton of content. But Spider-Man, I thought, had a good amount of content that offered a good deal of variety. But at the same time, the main story was concise. It was to the point. It really had no filler. Although I know some people absolutely detested the MJ missions. But I didn't even think those were that bad. I thought they were a nice change of pace. And I think it's going to be fine as far as 17 hours go. But hopefully they can get in all of the elements that I know people are looking forward to, and hopefully the side content is also engaging. I found the majority of the side content in Spider-Man 2018 to be fairly good, and hopefully they just improve upon that, and it creates a overall well-rounded package that for the entirety of the experience, people do enjoy. And I imagine the majority of you guys watching this video are gonna go for, maybe not a completionist run, but you're gonna delve into a sizable amount of the side content, because I thought it was worthwhile to do that in Spider-Man 2018, and it should be worthwhile to do that in Spider-Man 2 as well. And then lastly, absolutely, you gotta talk about this. You guys know how much of a stickler I am for performance. Spider-Man 2, Insomniac be wizards. On PlayStation 5, it supports ray tracing in every mode that is offered. So what they are offering, the graphics modes can be played in 30 frames per second, 40 frames per second, or 60 frames per second, and it supports VRR and 120 Hz displays. What was noted is the foundation for how we decide to render things is like we have to have our resolution be dynamic, and then we have a pretty robust temporal anti-aliasing solution that lets us scale that up and down. We get to leverage the player's preference about how they want to play the game, and with every mode, ray tracing is gonna be enabled. So that should be a visual lift on the game, and hopefully that 60 frames per second mode is a consistent 60 FPS. 40 FPS, having that as an option I think is great, because I see a lot of people talking about how 40 FPS is a sweet spot for them, where they can enjoy higher quality visuals and still enjoy a higher frame rate. 30 FPS to me is just a little bit of a step behind from what I personally like. If you like 30 FPS, bro, more power to you. I had so many people I know play Final Fantasy 16 in the 30 FPS mode, and they looked at me like I was a three-headed monster playing that game in the performance mode because of, you know, how much the resolution dips and whatnot. But that's just me, and that's why I like having a variety of performance options. And you saw what Insomniac did with Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart in terms of offering a variety of performance modes that really tailored the game to exactly how you want to play it. And Ray Tracing Performance, I think it was called, was the best mode in Ratchet Rift Apart. So great to see that for Spider-Man 2. And look, even though we've had a pretty lackluster year, I would say, on PlayStation 5 in terms of exclusives, in terms of first-party releases, and you look at 2024, I'm not overly excited about the first-party slate that is looking at 2024, given that a lot of it is probably going to be focused on live service games. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope here shortly we're going to get some confirmations on 2024 titles. If Insomniac can be Wizards and release Wolverine by the fall of 24, like, I don't even know. They should just, like, I don't even know at that point. Insomniac should be upgraded as a studio, and everybody should get a pay raise at Insomniac. If Wolverine actually comes out in 2024, like, Insomniac games would have to be the greatest purchase in the history of Sony acquisitions. And even if Wolverine's a 2025 title, at that point, Insomniac is still one of the most consistent studios in all of gaming. I know they're a larger studio, but the fact they put out Miles Morales, remastered of Spider-Man 2018, Ratchet Rift Apart, Spider-Man 2, like, they have a consistent rollout of titles, and you would think Wolverine would be a 2025 game. But now, let's look forward to Spider-Man 2. The base game is $70. You can pre-order it right now. There is a digital deluxe edition that only includes some costumes. That digital deluxe edition doesn't mention anything about an expansion pass or anything like that. So that will be a separate purchase if it does in fact happen. I would have to think it would, because that seems to be pretty financially effective, especially if you look at Sony's recent game rollout and how they operate in terms of that. So we'll see how all of that turns out. It's just great to hear that the game is gold, and I am so excited for it. October's going to be jam-packed with a lot of games, but I think for everybody that watches our channel, kind of everything takes a step back to Spider-Man 2. Alan Wake 2 up there as well for me, but Spider-Man 2 definitely got to take the cake. But that'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.